The Raven and the Fox. Once upon a time, there was a raven with the blackest feathers who lived in the forest and had a reputation for being vain. In front of him, he could see fields of crops and gardens full of flowers and a beautiful little white house. Through the windows of the house, he could see the family preparing food for that day. "Look at that cheese," the raven said to himself as his beak started to water. The mother of the household thought that the cheese would stay fresher if she put it outside, so she decided to do just that. "What a delicious-looking cheese," the raven whispered to himself as he thought about what it would taste like. The petty thief flew up to the window, grabbed a piece of the cheese with his beak, and quickly took off again. He perched up in a tree and tasted his prize. Everything that had just happened was seen by a crafty fox, who had gone for a long time without eating and was very hungry. The fox saw the raven proudly arrive up in the high branches with his piece of cheese. "Good morning, Mr. Raven," she said. The raven said nothing. Instead, he looked down and stared at the kind and smiling fox. "Have a fine day, sir," repeated the fox, and then she started to flatter him. "Wow, your feathers are so beautiful." The raven, who we already know was quite vain, kept quiet, but was happy to hear such nice praises. "Yes, of course," continued the fox. "It is like I always say, out of all the birds, none have such gracefulness and beauty as the raven." The raven, high up in the branches, began to swell full of satisfaction. On the inside, he was convinced that everything the fox down below was saying was true. Perhaps there were no others with feathers more beautiful than his. The raven then heard more soothing sounds coming from down below. It was the voice of the fox saying, "Beautiful sir, upon my word, your voice is so beautiful, just like the rest of your body. I don't think that out of all the birds in the world, there is one that is equal to your perfection." When the raven heard this sweet and flattering speech, he wanted to demonstrate to the fox the harmony of his voice and the quality of his song, to convince her that his melody did not lag behind the beauty of his feathers. So the raven opened his beak and started to squawk, without realizing that he had dropped the piece of cheese. This was exactly what the fox had wanted, and instantly grabbed the falling cheese between her teeth. Between each bite of cheese, the fox managed to say to the raven, "Silly raven, since the only food you need is flattery, and you have filled yourself up on compliments, you can now work on digesting all that praise, while I work on digesting all this cheese." The raven just then began to understand what had happened to him. He realized that he should have never acknowledged all of the fox's false praises. The raven had learned a life's lesson. From then on, he appreciated his own worth, but didn't overdo it. Never again did he let himself be tricked by anyone giving him compliments. On some occasions, when he heard someone offering compliments, he fled from them, remembering all too well the fox. Now the raven knows that sometimes all that sweet talk may wind up benefiting the one who is doing the talking. The raven was humbled by the fox and this event for the rest of his life.